Hi, welcome to the channel. I'm Dean Rod, and this is Moto Dean. Today we'll talk about motorcycles for first-time riders who are over 50. Now, just to be clear, this video is not about buying a motorcycle at age 50 for those who are already experienced. If you've been riding 5 years, 10 years, or 20 years, I'm sure there are better bikes for you. This video is about first time buyers of motorcycles who are over 50, meaning you're over 50 and you have the itch, you have the inkling to buy a motorcycle. Why am I making this video? Because I started riding at 53. And these are my suggestions, strong suggestions on the type of bike a first time rider over age 50 should consider. If you have any other opinion on what bike, please put them in the comments and let's have a discussion. So, you click on this video because you're over 50, or let's even 40, you finally, your wife or your girlfriend finally allowed you to buy a bike. First, take your safety riding course, whatever country you're in. For America, it's the MSF course, and for other countries, they have their own version. So make sure first that you get the proper certification because sometimes certain countries have certain licenses for motorcycle riders. So make sure you qualify for that. All right. First, you have to know your riding style. Are you an off-roader? Are you a street racer? Are you just riding for form, not necessarily substance? Are you just a cafe racer, meaning you want to go from cafe to cafe? So I'm going to give you suggestions based on the type of ride that you would want to be in. Now, once you develop your riding style or know what you want to do, know how you want to ride, my strong suggestion is to buy a used bike first. Why? 6 months, a year down the road, you're going to get better at your skill, you're going to get better at riding, you have more experience, more saddle time. I'm sure you want to upgrade your bike to a better version of what you have, or at least the newest model on the type of bike that you are that you choose to ride. Okay? Trust me, a year or two down the road, you will either upgrade your bike or get a second bike to augment your current riding style. All right. The first riding style that is common among those who are Gen X or older are cruiser bikes. These are low-seater bikes, meaning the seat height is low enough that you don't have to tiptoe as you stand on the bike. You probably have bent knees. The lower center of gravity will allow you to control the bike easier. Now, based on my experience, because my first bike was a Honda Rebel 500. I will show pictures of the bike so that you can see and compare as we go along on this video. All right. So Honda Rebel is about 500cc. It's got a low seat height. It's got adequate speed, adequate torque for the type of style that you are going to be in. Just easy riding, cruising. That's why it's called the cruiser. And so my recommendations would be either the Honda Rebel 500 or the higher version in the sense that it's a little higher. It's or scrambler version. It's called the CL 500. That's also from Honda. Or the Kawasaki Eliminator. Both are around 400 to 400. So they're about 500cc. So those are great bikes to start with. And they're easy riding and they're very nimble. So you won't have a hard time negotiating to traffic, stopping on a dime, or just cruising into your life. These cruiser bikes are great for commuting or heading down for your $8 venti cup of coffee at your local Starbucks. Now, the next type of riding that you might choose to do is what they call adventure riding, meaning you would have maybe a percentage of road and I don't say dirt, but let's say off-road, gravel, maybe slight desert sand or a little rough road. These bikes are great for those that go the extra mile in terms of where they want to go. They probably want to go camping, they want to see new roads, and these adventure bikes are great at adapting to the type of road that you are in. Most cruisers are only suited for road. My Honda Rebel has a low height, meaning in the Philippines there are great speed bumps, and once in a while the underside of the bike hits those humps. So adventure bikes are still higher. They have a higher center of gravity, but they are suited for rougher roads, so to speak. Now, the type of bikes I would recommend is, as a member, this is a starter bike, not for a veteran rider. I would recommend the Royal Himalayan 400. If you're going to get used, I think those earlier 27, don't get 2017, maybe 2019 up to 2023. Of course, they'll be used because there's no new ones available. Those are great bikes to start with on the uh, adventure type of bikes. They're easy to ride. They're low engine size or low engine capacity. Make sure that you don't go that fast, but they are great off-road. And those bikes have been tested. I've seen there are a lot of videos about it. In fact, those are the bikes used to actually go up the Himalayan mountains. Now, the other versions of the starter adventure bikes would probably be the Honda 500X. That is the same engine as the Honda Rebel, but it's on the adventure body frame. You can also try the KTM Adventure 390 if they're still available. The only cons or disadvantage of these small adventure bikes is probably the lack of power. And if you're into group rides, you most probably will be left behind. All right. Now let's go on to the next category. Would be the classic retro. Now these bikes are basically suited or marketed towards our age. These are bikes that look like they're from the 60s and 70s, and they have not time has not altered their design. But they are modern in terms of their technology and their riding capability. A very popular model will be the Royal Enfield Interceptor 650, or its variants, the Bear, which is more of the adventure type, off-road scrambler, and the Meteor, which is the cruiser type. Both are based on the same Enfield 650 engine. These are great retro-looking bikes that won't go out of style, and you can take them every year on the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride. Just think about it. Also, if you go ride into a cafe or into a restaurant, people will admire that you have the bike, and you are not going to get any strange looks except for the Harley guys. Another brand that would be suited for a little bit more modern would be the Triumph Speed 400. I don't know in what countries those bikes are available, but that Triumph Speed 400 is available in the Philippines. All right. The next category would be naked bikes. These are the sporty looking bikes. They're not the sports bikes because they don't have the flarings. Plus, naked bikes are better for people our age because they're more upright versus the sports bikes where you're leaning forward. So naked bikes are with the same sports bike mentality, but on an upright, more comfortable position. Now, the easiest or starter bike for the naked bike would be the Kawasaki C400, or maybe you can go a little lower, would be the BMW GS310, or just the 310. I'm not sure what the variant is, but these are lower CC models. They are fast, but they're not that fast, but they'll give you the feel of a sports bike. Think that you're in MotoGP, but nevertheless have the limited, it's limited by its size and horsepower. So these are great bikes to start with. Again, the Kawasaki Z400 or maybe the BMW 310. So you may look into that. And of course, again, this video is about the first-time riders for those over 50. Pretty soon, once you get your feel, once you get more knowledge, once you get more skill, you probably go up to a 650 or a 1,000-liter bike. All right? But remember, this is for the first-time buyers, first-time riders. All right, so the next category would be all-in-one. These are basically the naked, maybe the adventure and the cruiser type bikes, all in one. They're not necessarily, so sort of a jack of all trades. And these bikes are basically all in one. You take them out, they can be great for commuting, going to work, going slightly touring, or maybe go to the countryside, or maybe even to the local cafe. All right? The all-in-one I would recommend or suggest would be the Kawasaki Versys 300 or the Royal Enfield Scram 400. These bikes are still under the 400cc. They're not, I don't say low, but they're not as high in terms of horsepower and engine size, but they're great for the initial type of rider that you will be in. You are going to just go to work, weekend rides. These are great for getting into the spirit of riding. I know, and I'm 100% sure, a year down the road, you will upgrade to a bigger, faster, more capable bike. So then again, this video is about first-time riders who are over 50 or at least Gen X. Thank you and ride safe always. Hi, please do me a favor and smash that like button. It'll help me a lot and it will trigger the YouTube algorithm. Now, if you have not yet, please subscribe to my channel. If you don't, my dog will eat this exam booklet and that student has to repeat his final exam again.